Hello there, I'm Kaze, the project maestro. Welcome once again. It's glad to have you. Yes, in my last video, I described or detailed or outlined the various services that the quantity surveyor provides for you on your construction projects, and indeed in other aspects of the construction or the project business. Yes, I outlined about I think 16 of them, of those services or duties or roles that the quantity surveyor provides on projects. Yeah, so sequel to that video, uh, today I want to speak about the 7 reasons why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your construction projects. Yes. Now that video I referred to, if you have not watched it, I'm going to link it somewhere maybe in the description or in the comment, so that you can go watch it, and so that you can have a good understanding of the various services that the quantity surveyor provides for you on construction projects. So let's get right into this video in particular. Yes, so the first reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your project is what number one, to ensure that what you as the client, you get optimum value what for your money. Optimum value for your money what at the best possible cost. Now when we say optimum value of money, it means that for every amount, I mean for the funds you put into your project, you want to ensure that what you get the best value. You get the best value. You don't put so much money into your project and then get what average value or get minimum value. No, you get the best value. Now, who is the person who can help you achieve that on your construction project? Is the quantity surveyor. Is the quantity surveyor. No other person, no other professional in the construction industry can help you what achieve achieve optimum value for money except what the quantity surveyor. So it's very important for you what to engage the quantity surveyor what on your project. You will get optimum value of money. The quantity surveyor will help you, will ensure that you get the best materials the best materials at the best prices. Ensure that what the rates in your contract on your project, the rates as agreed in with your contractor or with your vendors, they are the best rates that can provide the value that what you seek for based on what you have, based on the budget, based on your budget. So the quantity surveyor does that. It helps you what achieve what optimum value what for money. Now the second reason for the second reason that you need to engage with a quantity surveyor on your project is what to provide unbiased advice to you, who is the client, on cost matters. What do I mean by unbiased? Unbiased means, the quantity surveyor gives advice to you on cost matters with no stakes in it. Usually, the quantity surveyor has no stakes or has no vested interest in the actual construction of the project, unlike the contractor. When you deal directly with the contractor, when the contractor says, "Oh, this is the best price for this item of work," or "That's the best price for that item of work," the contractor says a lot of times the contractor is saying that based on his interest, based on his vested interest in the project. He's going to he will tell you what to suit him because he or she wants to gain advantage. He wants to make as much profit as possible. But when the quantity surveyor gives you advice on cost matters, he is not giving you advice because he wants to gain anything from the project. He's giving you advice because he has your best interest at hand. He has no vested interest in the project, unlike the contractor. So the quantity surveyor it is advisable. It's a good thing for you to engage with the quantity surveyor on your project. Because that will help you avoid getting biased advice on cost matters. And that's the second thing. Now, the third reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your project is to prevent loss and wastage of resources. What I mean by resources: time, money, materials, maybe even equipment. Sometimes, you know, you know, usually, oftentimes, a project that doesn't have a quantity surveyor involved, it leads to a lot of wastage and loss of materials. And um, I've been let me say I've been involved in projects, and I know of projects that are like that. Projects where there was no because there was no quantity surveyor. Materials were lost. Resources materials were lost or wasted. Why? Because especially in projects where the clients decide to do this, what we call direct labor form of procurement. He just engage some artisans, bricklayers, carpenters, iron benders, electricians, and the rest of them. Engage them directly and bought materials and gave to them to use. Of course, because these artisans, they have no interest. I mean, they have no stake in the materials. All they have come there to do is to provide the workmanship, do their work, and go away. So they tend to waste these materials. They tend to waste the material. However, if you have a quantity surveyor on that project, or you even engage a contractor, if you have a contractor who's under whose responsibility it is to procure materials, the contractor will not want to waste his materials. He won't want to, because he knows that if his materials are wasted, he's losing money. So the contractor will engage somebody to supervise and ensure that his materials are not wasted. But if you as a client go ahead to engage a vendor, engage artisans directly, then of course what will happen is going to lead to wastage of resources, most likely. So, but when you have a quantity surveyor on ground, the quantity surveyor will ensure that, look, your materials are not wasted. When the artisans require, if you're using a direct labor method of procurement, when the artisans request for 100 bags of cement for a particular section of the work, and those 100 bags of cement are provided, and then later they come and say, we need 20 more bags, the quantity surveyor will say, no, you are supposed to use 100 bags of cement for that section of the work. Why are you requesting for 20 more bags? So the quantity surveyor is going to nip that issue in the bud. But if you don't have a quantity surveyor on site, you will not know. They will just keep on requesting for materials. Eventually, you find out that the materials that were supposed to cover a section of work, the section of work is not even 70% completed, and all the materials is finished. What is that? That results to a loss. It's a loss on your part. So that's one reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your construction project. Yes, the next one, that's the third now. That should be the fourth one. And the next reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your project is to avoid failed projects. Avoid failed projects. Projects that are projects that what is a failed project? A project that is abandoned, maybe due to the fact that the client doesn't have enough money to complete it. Or projects that are completed at a much higher cost than what was intended. So when you don't engage a quantity surveyor on your projects, to manage your projects, to manage the cost aspect of your project, or to manage your project as a whole, it sometimes leads to abandoned projects, because even based on some of the reasons I've given before now, the quantity surveyor is there to ensure that he manages your costs, that your costs don't go beyond what is expected. Of course, we know and that funds cost is critical to the success or failure of any project. So if the costs are not well managed, the project is going to fail. And that's the reason why I say, because when there are no funds, when the funds is not enough to complete the project has failed. The project has failed. If you as a client has taken a loan, the time to repay, the payment plan has already begun, and yet you not complete the project, you'll be in trouble. So that's the reason why you need to engage the quantity surveyor on your project, to avoid your project failing or ending up as a failure. Yeah, so that's the reason why you need to engage quantity surveyor on your project. Now, this next reason is for contractors. Quantity surveyors, when you engage contractors, and when as a contractor engage, have QSCs or quantity surveyors under your portfolio, managing your projects, it helps you to maximize profits. Of course, when I say maximize profits, now I'm not saying through illegal means. The quantity surveyor helps you to maximize profit through the legal means. The quantity surveyor advises you on, okay, these are the things you need to do pertaining to your procurement of materials, of labor, of equipment. The quantity surveyor has the knowledge he's able to advise you on what is best. What are the best processes you need to take to ensure that your materials, you use the actual amount of materials, or even you manage the materials in such a way that you don't end up losing, or you don't end up in losses and not being able to deliver the project to your client. So that is one reason. So that is a reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your project, to minimize your losses. The next reason why a quantity surveyor needs to be engaged on a project is to protect the interest of the client or the financial stakeholders. You know, when I say stakeholders, the client, the financiers of the maybe the client, you as the client, you went to take a loan from a bank or a financial institution, things like that. They are all stakeholders in the project. The quantity surveyor ensures that what he protects these people from what from losses. He protects what their interests. He protects their interests and ensures that what they don't make losses on their investments on that project. And that's the reason why when it even comes to financials or lending, if you watch the last video which I referred to at the beginning of this at the beginning, I mentioned that one of the services that consumers provide is construction finance monitoring services. They provide those services specifically for lenders, banks, financial institutions, finance houses, venture capital firms, and the likes, to ensure that the funds that they put or they lend to people or to individuals or organizations for project for property development or whatever it is they want to do, they ensure that those funds are used well, are used for the purpose and not wasted, so that just also to help them to protect and or mitigate their own risks. So quantity surveyor is there to protect the interest of you, the client, and indeed every other stakeholder in the project. But the last reason why you need to engage a quantity surveyor on your project is to ensure financial accountability, and transparency in your construction contracts. Now, imagine, like I mentioned in some videos I've done previously, I said that when I was trying to describe who a quantity surveyor is, I said a quantity surveyor is the financial accountant of the construction industry. So you imagine if you have a company and you have a company that is maybe into production or into whatever it is, or buying and selling or whatever it is, services, but you don't have an accountant. You don't have an accountant. You make money, you spend money, you make money, you spend money, but you have nobody in your firm, either internal or external, who comes to ensure that your figures are, are correct. And who doesn't capture your cost, doesn't capture your income, doesn't capture your expenditure. Imagine how it would be. I'm so sure you're going to be making a lot of losses. You are going to be. I mean, you're going to be losing money in different ways because you don't have an accountant. The same way with the construction industry. The same way with a project. If you don't have a quantity surveyor who is the financial cost accountant of the construction industry, if you don't have a quantity surveyor on your project, then it means that you will not be able to monitor your expenditure. You will not be able to. You won't be able to monitor your expenditure. You won't be able to track your costs. You won't at every point in time, you won't you at any point in time, you won't be able to say, oh, this is how much you have spent on this project, or this is how much you still have left to spend on this project. You won't be able to say, I mean, you won't be able to categorically say that, except you have a quantity survey under your portfolio. So it's so important for you to engage your to engage a quantity survey on your project. So I want to encourage you. um would you like to speak to a quantity surveyor concerning your next project? Feel free to book a discovery call with me. I'm always available to speak with you to help you achieve success in your projects. There's going to be a link somewhere around this video, or maybe in the pinned comments, depending on where you're watching, in the description or the pinned comments, depending on where you're watching this video from. There's going to be a link somewhere around for you to connect with me, and let's talk about your project. So, till my next video, I wish you success in your projects. Stay blessed.